Today's a great day. It's quite the comprehensive gathering. I'm glad we're all here today to celebrate the service of our faculty and staff and to honor our retirees. I congratulate you all on your dedication and service to our students and to our fine institution. I wish you the best as you embark on new activities for those of you that are retiring. And of course, we expect you to continue your presence with us during visits, and I know at least one person who will be working for us in some capacity after she retires. So not goodbye, just farewell. I would like to briefly review what I consider to be the highlights this year as we've made progress with our work. That success is a result of teamwork, leadership, and service across our Wye Mills campus and our Cambridge Center. First, I would like to thank all of you for this past year in orienting me to my responsibilities and expectations of serving as your president. Many of you have provided me invaluable guidance, suggestions, and coaching as I've wended my way through the challenges and opportunities in my first year in my position. I appreciate your insights, your suggestions, and your assistance as I've learned about our past and the things I need to do to facilitate our progress in the future. Many of you came in and visited me last summer, and it feels like that was a long time ago, but you certainly gave me a good start. The following represents my understanding of what we have accomplished together in this past year. Through wisdom and application, we have succeeded in improving our retention of our students, with another year with well over 300 students graduating with degrees and certificates this week. Despite lower numbers of entering students, we are seeing more students complete, stay in school, and graduate. Through the leadership of Melina Baer and Joan Seitzer and their talented staff, we have improved both enrollment and retention. But this also reflects across classrooms, labs, and all our activities on campus. We completed the process and composition of our new strategic plan, which involved all elements of the college, including staff, faculty, students, and trustees. We also had, from previous information gathered, valuable input from our various constituencies off campus, including county leaders, business and industry supporters, and our donors. We are currently finishing up the implementation portion of the plan, which we will be sharing with the campus soon. We have restored excellent connections to our local communities through outreach at various levels, from staff and faculty contacts, through senior leadership engagement, and the day-to-day efforts to do better by serving our students and the communities from which they come from. We have strengthened programs, both for credit and non-credit. This past year, we have revitalized our trades areas through various curriculum revisions and the additions of a new program in marine trades. Many of these improvements have been developed through excellent partnerships with our CTE directors and public ed, through partnerships with business and industry, and both financial and other support from these cooperative efforts. We are in a better place from our just last summer with these remarkable efforts. I thank our deans, our faculty, our directors, and our staff for this excellent progress. It has received the attention from our local county leaders, our legislative delegation, and from the governor's staff. We have transformed the Cambridge Center. Through the leadership of Amber McGinnis and the work of staff and faculty both at the center and here at Wye Mills, we have invigorated programming and improved the physical appearance and the functionality of that vital installation that extends the reach of our campus to our local communities in Dorchester, Caroline, and Southern Talbot counties. With the hire of Brandon Hessen as the new permanent director, I envision even greater things to come in Cambridge. We have hired excellent staff and faculty this year. Ultimately, the heart and soul of any organization, including or particularly a college, is the people who deliver services and instruction to our students and to our community. I'm amazed every day at the work you all do and the dedication and enthusiasm of the new hires we have brought to the campus in the past 12 months. Our future is in good hands. We are continuing to make extraordinary progress in improving the safety and security of our campus. Our campus public director, who I finally referred to as Chief Rhonda Thomas, has developed and executed a plan that has made an extraordinary difference in everyday operations, including planning and training, establishment of excellent relationships with our partner counties and state agencies, and her hiring of highly qualified and dedicated special police officers. We continue to work on our IT stance, both in terms of securing our data and systems, but also in improving our software and our hardware. I'm grateful to Greg Warner and his staff in making the best use of the resources at our disposal and efficient management of our services so staff, faculty, and students have a better experience while they work on and off campus. Those are what I believe the most obvious points of accomplishment and progress you've all made this year. There are many others. I am proud to be your president. It is my privilege to lead this fine organization, all those who make it work so well. We have a lot left to do. We need to build on our efforts of this past year. We need to execute our strategic plan. I appreciate in advance the continued suggestions and recommendations you all provide me as I walk about campus and interact with you in your work. I thank you all for all you do and wish you all for this summer. I'll hope you all take the opportunity to take a break, restore yourselves for another great and productive year at Chesapeake College. Thank you very much. Do I turn this off? No? Okay.
Okay, when I call your name, we'd like you to come forward and come up and get your certificate. And I believe, Danielle, are you taking pictures over here? Okay, great. All righty. So, presentation of the 5-year service awards. Vinny Marugi. I'm sorry, here we go. No, not alphabetically. Jessica Kilby. You guys should sit closer, right? Katrina Johnson. Yay! There you go. Run, run, run. Danielle Thomas. Yes, when you get, after you get your award, if you will come to the right so we can do a group picture. Denise Taylor Turner. Aaron Turner. There you go. Phyllis Johnston. Jane Jump. Kim Quigley. Accepting the award? No. Gwen Buxbaum. Sorry. Heather Cunningham. Rob Thompson. Bridget Lowry. Sarah Ross. I don't believe Ruth Plinky is going to be here today. Andrew Taylor. Group's getting rowdy over there. Vanette Seals. Is Vanette here? There she is. Our own events dynamo, Michelle Hall. Kimberly Sellers. Not here, okay. And Kimberly Smolowski, please. Okay, I think that's it for your picture. Okay. All right, celebrating 10 years of service, Lorraine Holden. Kevin Blankenship. And Jody Stein. Cindy Welzel. And Janine Gallagher. Okay, Janine's not here. Susan McGeehan. Jason Mullen. Sherry Foster. Sarah Sewell. Valerie Walzak. Val, give yourself your award. Alice Nowicki. And last but not least, Deborah Bolden. And that's it, Danielle. Okay, celebrating 15 years of service, John Haas. Harriet Lowry, woo! My girl. Mary Beth Bailey. David Boone. Thanks for picking up the flowers, guys. Was that David? No, that wasn't. That was Robert. Robert, thank you. And Miriam Collins. Miriam? Okay. All right, celebrating 20 years of service. Margaret Annawalt. Not here. Okay. How about Frank Szymanski, co-chair? How about Becky Falver? Yay! Elaine Wilson? And Judy Stetson. Okay, now we're getting to the real vintage people here. 30 years of service, Dan McDermott, vintage. Pat Lambden. I'm sorry, that was 35 years of service. Pat Lambden. And another woman we all know and love, Carolyn Causey. Woo! Okay, at this time, we'd also like to recognize the folks that have received promotions over the past year. Let's see. Was I supposed to do that, or were you going to do that? Okay. Staff in grade promotions. Most of these folks are not here, but Jane Jump is here, so we'd like to recognize Jane. Jane, you want to come up? Brenda Horrocks and Mary Branning also received in-grade promotions, but couldn't be here today. Good job. Faculty promotions. David Timms. Greg Dempsey. Lanka Elson. Shannon Fleischman. And Gretchen Gaines, but she could not be here today. So. Okay, at this time, we'd like to recognize our retirees. First of all, we have Melissa Mackey with 32 years of service. Dan, you want to come up?
If I were you all, most of you all, sitting there, I'd be going, who is this guy and who is she? The Upper Shore Workforce Investment Board, as we're known now, has been at Chesapeake College since 1983. 1987, when Melissa started here, it was called the Upper Shore Private Industry Council, administering a program called the Job Training Partnership Act. Dr. Schleiger was the president. In fact, this was so long ago that our office was on the second floor of this building, and all of you there and here, you would be outside, because the building ended there. Our office was about where that trouble light is above. We had a hallway that went between the two sides of the building, no windows. It was so long ago, the college closed one day for snow, and no one told us, because we didn't have email. And then we came out, and everyone was gone, and there was a lot of snow. And, you know, same thing, I didn't see Guido DeLuca here, but every week when he sends out the job listing and says share with people who aren't on email, he can stop doing that, because that was us. And now we are on email. Melissa's worked here through the Job Training Partnership Act, the Workforce Investment Act, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, 3 pieces of legislation. Job Training Partnership Act, we 3 organizations, the PIC, the WIB, and now the Workforce Development Board. Dr. Schleiger, Dr. Catula, Dr. Bounds, Dr. Viniar, now Dr. Coppersmith. So she really got here late to the game because she never worked for Dr. Silver. See, that joke didn't go anywhere, because there's like, if you go in the second floor of the Dorchester building, there's a guy you don't know, Dr. Silver. Okay, so that one's it. Melissa worked here. We've worked here. I've been here 30 years. She's been here 32. We've worked here so long that the building we're in now, we still call the new building, the Economic Development Center. Last year was very disconcerting that they had to replace the air conditioning on the new building, but it's pretty old. Dick, how old is it now? 21 years, so we still think of it as a new building, but that's us. But Melissa asked me to try to be funny, so I tried about her departure. And, to me, it's really, tough because we worked together for 30 years. This is the not funny part. In 32 years, Melissa has been responsible for putting about $20 million worth of scholarships into Chesapeake College, and easily, and that would translate literally into thousands of students. There are so many people who came here with a workforce scholarship that came about because of the processes and the work we do, and Melissa was part of that for a long, long time. But even though things changed, we have email, we're not up there, we're in the new building, blah, 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 all the presidents, et cetera. There's one thing that's driven Melissa and our organization from the get-go. It's not how many people we train, not how much money we spend. Everyone we work with has to get a job, keep a job, and earn a paycheck. And that's something that Melissa did better than anybody, and better than most anybody in the country, and certainly better than anyone in Maryland. I'm going to miss her. The board's going to miss her. The staff's going to miss her. But I think she's going to have a lot more fun and not miss us at all. But this is Melissa Mackey. Those of you who didn't know her, you missed knowing a great person. She always kept the participants, students in mind, and made major changes for a lot of people's lives, and I appreciate that.
So do I look like a retiree or what? So this is the beach wear, this is the retirement, and what a long, strange trip it's been. Also embodying the Grateful Dead, I'd say every silver lining has a touch of gray. And as Tom Petty said, the future is wide open, and the sky's the limit. And as Jimmy Buffett said, it's only 12:30, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So I appreciate all of you who helped any of our students. I appreciate this tremendous staff. These guys know what they're doing. It's a great program, and they work hard every day. And it's really important, the work we do. And I'm really proud of all of that. It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
So Pat has shared with me that she wants to stay as far away as possible from the microphone and the limelight. But would you please just give us a wave, Pat? It's my privilege to recognize her 35 years of service to the institution. She is expert at teaching developmental math, also credit, well known for developing peerless and good rapport with her students to ease their math anxiety. She has many times picked up classes at the last minute when other instructors were not available. She served on admissions, financial aid, academic standing, APC, developed pretty much every committee the college has and a few the college does not have. Numerous professional memberships over the years. But even before I knew her as a mathematics instructor at the college, two characteristics stuck out to me for Pat. First was that every Thursday she provided fresh donuts to the department. And this, so far as I was concerned, at least in my first months at the college, was her greatest achievement at Chesapeake College. Second to that would be her sense of humor, which is always evident, a dry wit that none can mistake. I think it's evident in her application letter to the college and in her retirement announcement to the college, both written. That little subtle dry Pat humor I think I detect. In 1989, an application for a full-time position, she wrote, "Enclosed, please find my resume, which is in response to your ad for a mathematics instructor at Chesapeake College. I am currently employed as a mathematics instructor at Chesapeake College." And in her retirement letter, December 13th, 2018, this was by email, she said, "This will be the end of 35 years of service to the college, and this has not been an easy decision. I have loved my job, the college, and most especially my students. And now, the search for a perfect candidate can begin." She graduated from St. Peter and Paul in 1970. She graduated from Chesapeake College in 1972 with an associate's degree and having made the dean's list. A BS in mathematics followed in 75 and a master's in education in 78, both from Salisbury University. Continuing education at Portland State University, graduate credits. In 1984, she was first employed by Chesapeake College part-time, and what a coincidence, Pat, that was the year that I started school. In 1988, she was hired as a math instructor. 92, promoted to assistant professor. 99, associate professor. And I would just like to read very briefly some comments that were written by her peers about her work over the years. Brenda Bloomgarden, whom many of you will remember, wrote in 1989 that one of Pat's greatest strengths is her ability to create a relaxed atmosphere which relieves math anxiety. She wrote that for Dr. Stuart Bounds. In 1990, Duke Blythe, who is with us today, Linda's husband, wrote that this instructor shows an excellent rapport and working relationship with her students. In 96, Sistriano, is it Jack Sistriano, wrote for Stuart Bounds, "Her student opinion surveys are outstanding, and it's easy to see why she has such a good rapport with her students." 2012, leaping ahead, we hear, "Her style may seem snarky at times, but the students don't seem to be offended. Most seem to enjoy it." And in 2013, developed a great rapport with math students who need the most coaxing to trust their own abilities to learn. And this list goes on. Donna Andrew, whom you also remember, said that you're the reason she was employed by the college. Thank you for that. And that the characteristic that she remembers most about you is the amount of time that you spent one-on-one. So in addition to this good, warm rapport in the classroom, all the time that you spent one-on-one with your students over the years, helping them achieve. Thank you for being exemplary, Pat Lambden.
It's very easy to present someone who's been here for years. Linda has been an amazing employee for Chesapeake College, but not just an amazing employee. She has been such an advocate to her students, to the college, to the program, to everyone that's come across her. I remember when I first started at the college, she was the chair, and she took me under her wing and taught me everything about what I needed to know for the college. She would bring me up to the main campus, because remember back then, all the health professions were down at Easton. We were secluded, we were isolated, and I did not know what happened up here at this mysterious place called the main campus. And I am so grateful that she took me under her wing and was my mentor. And that mentoring did not stop after I matured at the college or, learned things. Even, I could tell you, even last Friday, the last meeting we had together, I'm still learning things from Linda. And she is that precious to this college. She started, for those that don't know, most of our health professions programs started at the hospital, at the hospital's request, or the hospital actually started. We, the college, the hospital, has only had one program director for radiological sciences. We've only had one. We've only needed one. And it's an amazing job that she's done over the years. The challenges that she's had to face with accreditation, changing students, coming up here with a new building, equipment, there's so many things. She has handled all of those with grace and always remained an advocate for her staff and expanding her staff and for the students. You can't get an x-ray anywhere on the Eastern Shore, and probably Delaware, and probably even over in Anne Arundel, without someone saying, I know Linda. How is Linda doing? She taught me. The program taught me. We have graduates that come back and work for the college. So it's an amazing legacy that Linda has created. It's very sad to see her go, but beyond radiological sciences and the extraordinary work she's done there, she's been, and I'll probably get this wrong, Linda, 3 or 4 times she's been our faculty chair. Not quite that many. It may seem that many. An amazing, a huge responsibility that has a lasting impact for our college. So she has taken that job more than once. And the work she's done on APC, which does a lot with our college's curriculum, you would think being a health professions person that she would not be an advocate for general education, fine arts, etc. I've learned so much about what those components are to the college and how we can advocate for them. She has advocated for curriculum across this college that has impacted every student that has come through our doors in the last years. So it is easy for me to come up here. I could just keep talking and talking. It is easy for me to come up here and sing her praises because I've only scratched the surface for what she's done for all of us. She's done for the students, faculty, the institution, for me personally. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know your impact is going to be generational, and I can't thank you enough for that. So with that, I won't go on too much longer. I'd like to invite you up, Linda, and say a few words.
Well, I told you last year I'd be up here again, and I don't think anybody believed I was going to retire. And I had to, because, it's time. It's time for other people to take the ball and run with it, younger people. There are people who were here when I came here who are no longer here. And one of those is Bill Wharton, who was a colleague and professor of music here, and certainly helped me as I got used to the college and the college environment. So I'd never worked at a college before when I came here. And such a gentleman, and such a fine musician. You just couldn't ask for any better. Let's give him a hand. There are other people that I've worked with over the years who are no longer with us. In this past year, Brenda Bloomgarden died. And there are many, many others that I could mention. And they all had an impact on each one of us in one way or another, because what we do today is, I'm fond of saying that education is like a pyramid. You have to have a big base. You can't stick it on its apex, because then it'll fall over. And there are so many people over the years who have built this institution to what it is now, and they are to be thanked. But one of the things that is kind of unusual, maybe it's not unusual, I don't know how many people meet each other when they're working, but that's what happened to me. I was having a meeting with Tom Leitzel in his office, who was the dean for business and technology then. And this guy walked into the office, and we just kind of did a double take. He did a double take looking at me, and I did a double take looking at him. And then we spent the next couple of years just kind of talking and getting to know each other. When he finally, and I won't tell you that story about how he proposed. I've said it before, though. It was after a 2-hour curriculum meeting when they were talking about whether or not the student development series ought to be credit or non-credit, and they talked about it for 2 damn hours. And I didn't get a chance to present my proposal. So anyway, I said I wouldn't tell you, but I am. So Duke and I were going out. This is Valentine's Day too. Duke and I were going out, and I'm going off. I'm just like bouncing off the walls about all this happened. And he said, "I have something that may make you feel better." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Well, you could marry me." And I immediately said, "Well, you're not supposed to do that now. You're supposed to do that later on when we're at when we're going out to dinner." And he said, "Well, I thought it was apropos. I thought it made you feel better." So that's what happened. When I told my father that Duke wanted to, a very, very traditional guy, wanted to come and talk to him about marrying me, and I said, "Well, Duke and I had been talking for 2 years." My dad kind of put his glasses down and he looked over his glasses and he said, "You all are real slow starters, aren't you?" Well, I had been single for 17 years and I wasn't too excited about the whole idea of sharing my life and the decision-making process, naturally, with someone else. But I have to say it stuck. Last Saturday, we celebrated our 28th wedding anniversary. So love blooms at Chesapeake College, and it actually stays in place for some period of time. That's good for me. And we certainly, everything that we've built together has been built because of that relationship and my employment here. I've been here about, Pat was saying, half her life. Half my life has been spent here too. So I couldn't have done it all without Duke and without his support. You know, I don't know whether a lot of you have not met Duke, but Duke is like, and I'm like, woo, 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 woo. So when I'm up here, he brings me down. When I'm down here, he brings me up so that I can just stay like that. And I appreciate it. The program this year is going to graduate the 42nd graduate. And I'm wondering where did all that time go? It went so fast. I just can't believe it. And I see my students, just as others have said, as John was saying, I see my students all over the place. A couple of years ago, I was supposed to have an MRI of the knee, and I called the office up, and I said, I need to make an appointment for an MRI. And the person on the other end of the phone said, "Linda?" I'd know that voice anywhere. So I keep running into these folks when I'm getting health services myself and when I take others. And it's wonderful to me. It's kind of what you hope you can do as an instructor, as a teacher, as a mentor, is that you see people out in the community living their dream, buying homes, having kids, living their life. And that's probably the most wonderful thing that you can have as a teacher. I can't leave the college either without making reference to the folks who came before me. Not before me necessarily, but who helped me in terms of this particular vision. And those people included Carol Smith, Debbie Bunker, Christine Ayers, Lauren Mangold, and the person who has helped me the most, and that's Mary Beth Bailey. So without Mary Beth, there was no program. She was really the heart and soul of the whole thing. She did most of the work. Sorry, you paid me a lot of money, but I didn't do all the work. She did it. And it couldn't be the program that it is without her. And I'm so happy that she is remaining with the program. And I'm also happy that Justin Malecki is going to be taking over as the program director, since I see that as my paying forward. You know, you have a graduate who comes back and takes up the reins, a younger person, and runs with them. I think it's wonderful. So someone said, I believe it was David, said, you ought to share some of the things that you said in your letter with everyone. And so I'm going to do that, and I'll read it because I just screwed up otherwise. Many Chesapeake College faculty, administrators, and staff were mentors and supported me in my development as a faculty member. I will always be grateful to them. There are so many good people here who love learning, love the students, and love the college. They extended their support and their friendship to me. They encouraged me to continue my education, to take on special projects and accept leadership roles. In return, I learned so much about myself and gained confidence in abilities I didn't think I had. So words are inadequate to express my gratitude to all those people. Over the years, governance and curriculum and educational policies, and these have been my interests in addition to teaching and the program development, and I've tried to be of service. I hope I'm leaving something of value behind. I'm proud of the program, the graduates, and their accomplishments. What am I going to do in the future? Well, I want to travel, and I want to go to the theater, and I want to visit museums, and I want to get out on the water, and I want to take photographs, and I want to garden, and I want to read, and I want to play the guitar, which has been broken for about 10 years. Listen to music, maybe even exercise and diet. But I'll definitely sit on the porch with the occasional glass of wine and enjoy the home that Duke and I have worked so hard to build in this beautiful place that we live on Harris Creek. And that's what I would like to do in the future. So lastly, I wanted to share a poem with you that I have always found lovely and have collected for a long time. I've collected this set of poems for a long time. And this one is just apropos of what's going on here today. And it's by Kipling. When Earth's last picture is painted and the tubes are twisted and dried, when the oldest colors have faded and the youngest critic has died, we shall rest and faith shall need it, lie down for an eon or two, till the master of all good workmen shall put us to work anew. And those who are good shall be happy. They shall sit in a golden chair. They shall splash at a 10-league canvas with brushes of comet's hair. They shall find real saints to draw from, Magdalene, Peter, and Paul. They shall work for an age at a sitting and never be tired at all. And only the master shall praise us, and only the master shall blame. And no one shall work for money, and no one shall work for fame, but each for the joy of working, and each in a separate star shall draw the thing as he sees it, for the God of things as they are. Louis Goldstein used to say, it's the greatest ending of all. God bless you all real good. Thanks.
Okay, Linda mentioned that we did experience a loss just recently with the loss of Dr. Bill Wharton, and Nevin would like to say a few words.
Hi, I'm going to talk about somebody who just died, but in the interests of being able to handle all that, a few words. Nevin would like to say a few words? If you have to explain it, it's not fun. Okay. You just got to, okay. Okay. Bill Wharton was my friend, and Bill Wharton was our colleague, and he was here, somewhere around about 30 years. He came from Easton High School to here, and so Bill Wharton was music here. You know, people who are a one-person shop, that the whole discipline resides in them and their office. Hi, Linda. Which was true for a long time for you. And so anytime the college needed or wanted music, there was Bill Wharton, because he donated himself to our social events and our general college life, all the theatrical performance, in addition to his classes. Maybe you haven't thought about this, but music educators are very special people because they dedicate their lives to helping people perform in their favorite thing in the world, and usually murder it. They get to listen to an awful lot of bad music. And a lot of musicians and other people who are very expert at things, have you noticed that they can be a little snippy? But that's not what you need at a community college. And Bill Wharton was the opposite of that. Bill Wharton was the kind, generous, gentle, the very constructive criticism that it might be days before you figure out there was any criticism in there. You know, that kind of guy. And so Bill gave us that gift, you know, and he did music with us and for us. One of my favorite memories, I didn't know he had done this until he asked me. He would have voice classes, and a lot of times people who sing in voice classes are those people who think they're great singers, but they can barely hold a tune. You know, those folks, and may they be truly blessed. So Bill would recruit good singers just to come act like they were students and sing along in voice class, so that everybody would have a beautiful experience of singing with other good singers, you know, and never let people know, you know. And that's the kind of musician Bill Wharton was. While excellent himself, you know, he made sure everybody else got to be in love with music. So I wouldn't fault him for absolutely anything. He's the gentlest, kindest, highly talented person I've ever known, except he graduated about 3 days early.
Okay, just to close out the program, I want to do some thank yous. I want to congratulate all our service award recipients and our retirees. You all are really going to be missed. We thank you for everything you have done here at the college. Linda, I remember the first week I started, I think you were in charge of faculty assembly at that time. You came in and we had a meeting, and she left, and I was like, what just happened? Oh my goodness. She was great, though. She brought to my attention all the issues that I needed to be aware of within 3 days. I almost walked out the door at that point, but no. No, it was great. I want to thank my staff who, without them, this event would not happen. Val Walzak, Cindy Zuella, and Dawn Quinton. Sodexo and the event staff, and also our custodial staff for all their help in cleaning things up. And if you will check under your chairs, there should be a sticky note. If you have a sticky note under your chair, you get a day off with pay. No, I'm just kidding. That would be great, wouldn't it? You'll get a geranium. You'll get one of the geraniums. So thank you for coming.